Hi YouTube. Well, today I'm doing my impression of this particular bourbon. It's Booker's. It's a 2015-05. This might be kind of hard to get depending upon where you go, because I just found some in a local liquor store and I bought everything they had, which was 3 bottles, I think. Right now the 2017 is out. Just to tell you a little bit about Booker's. This particular one, they all state on them, it's a 2015-05. It's 64% ABV, that's 128 proof. It was aged 6 years, 7 months, and 3 days. It's got a statement on it that by Booker No himself. It's written in his own handwriting, or at least printed in his own handwriting, and it says this is the best whiskey that I can make. Booker's since passed away a few years ago, but his son's taken over, and this is all made by Jim Beam. Okay, Booker No was Jim Beam himself's grandson. He started it in 1988. I think they had 1,000 cases or 6,000 bottles that were produced. Let's see. This is, again, 2017. This year is about the 20th year of release, depending upon how you count things. Jim Beam itself now is owned by Suntory. This is a Japanese company that it's a brewing and distilling company. That's how they're described. They own a lot of premium whiskey brands now. That's the way things are going. If you want to make a few $1 million, you start with $1 million. You open a distillery. You do a good job at distilling product. You start selling a few bottles here and there, and then along comes a big conglomerate and buys you up, and you make 100 times your original investment. So that's how you become a multimillionaire. Or you can just stay in business and keep making whiskey. Depends upon what you want. I'm kind of rambling there, sorry. I just wanted to show you, take the slide here. You pry the bottle out. It's kind of stuck in there with some adhesive that they keep it from, they don't want it getting destroyed on the way to the retailer. I'm going to pour myself just a very, very, very small dram, just a sip, because this again is 120 zillion proof, so I don't want to go smashed through the rest of my day. My opinion is that Booker's makes one of the top 2 or 3 bourbons in the world. Or the Booker's brand is, that's Jim Beam. But let's see, just to give you a little flavor of what I'm tasting here or smelling. First thing you smell is alcohol. And there are some notes of burnt brown sugar and what I describe as kind of a shellac or a furniture refinishing flavor or smell. Because I used to do a lot of furniture refinishing when I was a kid. My parents owned an antique shop, so that was my job. And there was a distinct flavor or smell that bourbon gives off that reminds you of that. Let me just do a taste. Since I've opened the bottle, and it's been about 24 hours, and I had my first taste, the flavor has changed. the oxidation that is allowed to enter the bottle, and this Booker's itself will get better with the more you drink of it out of the bottle. When you get about halfway, it's hit its prime. I usually try to set it aside at that point and not drink it for a few weeks, and then it really hits its prime, and you know, it brings out a lot of different flavors and notes. Let's see, there's a slight astringency, but again, that was worse yesterday than it is today, so now it's kind of mellowing out a little bit. It's really, really good today. The mouth feels a little bit oily, and then that's about it. That's about all my taste buds can tell you. Some guys will sit there and they'll say, I detect a little leather and a little pudding and a little this and that. I don't get a lot of those distinct notes. To me, it tastes like bourbon, which is pretty alcoholic, but the high alcohol content of this will preserve the flavor. If I'm drinking it, I typically don't drink it straight like this. I'll cut it between 35 and 40% with water. It'll bring it right down to that 40% ABV level. Actually, the old timers, the old distillers, and guys like Elmer T. Lee and those guys, they said that they preferred drinking bourbon at about 35%. It still retains all of its flavor at that, yet it doesn't have all the punch and the astringency of the alcohol, and it just won't get you as hammered. I mean, if you drank a full glass of this, you could not drive. You would not legally be allowed to drive, but you wouldn't be very good at it either. That's Booker's. That's my impression of it. I've got about 6 or 7 different expressions right now. Each one, again, the -05 here, I've got a -04, I've got a pre-2014 or 13, whenever they started doing the -05s and all in the year. They used to just name them bluegill or something like that, something that would just kind of remind them of what they were doing when they had a taste of a great bourbon. So that's all for now, guys. That's it on my Booker's review. The next liquor I will be reviewing will be Elijah Craig Cask Strength 2017 edition. Some have referred to that as the Bottle of Wow from 2016. If they're talking about the alcohol, they're going to be a little disappointed in 17 because it's down a few notches as far as the proof. I think it's about 120 proof. So it doesn't bother me at all as long as it tastes good. Okay, guys, I'll see you. Bye.